Did you know that you can format your Trello card descriptions and even your comments with things like bold text, bullet points, italics, and more? Now, this is pretty easy to do on desktop these days, but what if you're on mobile? Is it still possible? It is. They use something called Markdown. So we're going back into our Essentials series this week, and I'm going to be showing you not only quickly how you can do this in desktop, but also how you can do this with Markdown on mobile. But before we dive into this, make sure you like this video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and ring that notification bell so that you never miss a tutorial or upload. Okay, so like I said, when you're doing this on desktop, nowadays, it's actually really simple. It used to be that you had to use Markdown even in desktop version, but now when you click into your description, you're going to see that they have different text styles and things like that, which are going to obviously format your text in these ways that you can see right here. They are also giving you some keyboard shortcuts, but obviously you can't do Control Alt anything from a phone. So you still need to know some of this Markdown stuff. You've got bold, italics. If you click in here, you can see we can do strike through, we can do code. Sometimes that will just happen automatically and it can be a little confusing. I forget when and why it does that, but it'll happen on its own sometimes if you start to use certain symbols in what you're writing. But you can always turn it off by highlighting what turned into code and clicking on this to undo that code formatting. You've also got here bullet lists and numbered lists. And if you want to add links and things like that, and then different elements and stuff, if you want to do it at mention, all of that stuff. Here's your code snippet again that you can kind of see that as code. But again, that's not what most people are going to be doing. This is a basics kind of tutorial here, so we're not going to get into coding and things like that. They do also have the ability for you to view it in Markdown, so you can see what it would look like in the mobile version when you're editing. So we're going to make some use of that. But let's just go ahead and type something here. So we're just going to say, I don't know, I'm very not creative this morning. So I'm going to do a title, and then I'm going to say body of text because I am not creative this morning. And we put a little emoji. Well, actually, it didn't. It wanted to start to do like an emoji search here when we put that colon. There's a whole lot to search through here. And like, honestly, I'm not going to do it because if you want to do an emoji, you just want to click on your little menu button on your keyboard and go into emojis, right? And then you just search for whichever one you want. Let's go ahead with the tongue out one. Then we're going to go ahead and say, now I have a list of things that I want to put here. And then here's a link to. So when you click out of this, it's just going to be a bunch of text. Doesn't really have a whole lot of formatting to it. But we're on desktop, so let's do it in an easy way. So we're going to go ahead and select what we want to update. And we're going to come in here and we're just going to make that larger, okay? Then this body of text is just going to be normal because we don't need it to be anything different. So we're going to say thing 1, thing 2, thing 3. We're going to select these 3 things and we're going to come in here and go bullet list. And then now we've got a link and we're going to just do, HTTP. Oh my goodness. Okay. HTTPS kellylgable.com. We're going to hit the space bar. It's automatically going to hyperlink that because it recognizes it as a hyperlink when we are here in desktop. And we're going to hit save. And let me just say really quick, everything I'm doing right now, you can do in the comments here as well. See, you've got all the same stuff here. Okay. But we want to see this in Markdown because this is what we would have to do if we wanted to replicate this from a mobile phone. So let's go ahead and view Markdown. Okay, and you can see here how this was done. In order to achieve that header, we had a hashtag here or a pound sign, depending on your generation. And then we've got our normal text here. And then in order to get the bullet points from mobile, we just put these little dash and space, and it's going to automatically translate that into bullet points. Now, when we're looking at a link, it's going to be a little bit more complicated. So we've got brackets around one version of that link and then parentheses around a copy of that same text, but with these quotation marks as well. That's how it looks in Markdown. And I just realized we didn't do any bolding or italics. So we're going to go ahead and bold because and italicize morning. We'll hit save. And then let's go in and look at that in Markdown as well. So for bolding, you're going to be doing the 2 asterisks, and for italics, you're going to put an underscore on either side, okay? So this is not something that I would recommend you do primarily from your mobile device, but you absolutely can do it from your mobile device. I would say keep it simple and do as much of the formatting for your descriptions and your comments here on desktop, where it's so much easier to do. But this way, you can always translate that. If you're on the go and you need to update something and you're like, ugh, it just looks like a massive text, you're going to know how to do that. Now, I would drop some of this in the description for you so that you could see it like in a block. But the problem is that YouTube actually uses some of the same Markdown for formatting in its own description. So if I did some of these things, it would simply translate it to bolding something. So I don't think it would translate very well. But like I said, you can always type something in here, have it looking how you want it to look, and then go in and view the Markdown so that you know exactly how you would translate that into mobile. And then you could always copy and paste that somewhere else. Whether you're on desktop or mobile, formatting your descriptions and comments makes things so much easier to read and honestly, just a lot more meaningful. The online tools for your business do not need to be complicated and overwhelming. It's time to let it be easy. I hope that you liked that video, and more importantly, that you found it helpful. And if you did, I hope you'll consider subscribing to the channel and sharing it with a fellow solopreneur. And make sure that you check out the description for links for how we can connect and maybe even work together.